Hey everyone, welcome to USA Crypto Group. Today we have BlocVest. BlocVest is the latest addition to the BlocVault protocols with three very unique vaults. They are designed for different investment strategies to give you income as well as to ensure the stability of the project. Like always, this AMA session is for informational purposes only. This is not financial advice, and there's no commitment to the team. With that, I'd like to welcome Celtic from BlocVest. Celtic, if you can start out introducing yourself, your team, and you guys' background.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm Celtic Warrior. I'm the CEO over at the BlocVault ecosystem. I have been in e-commerce and digital for over 12, 13 years. And I'm around crypto, I suppose, with the last 2.5 years. Some of the team have joined me here this evening, so I'll pass you over to Jeremy, who was our CTO, and he can introduce himself.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeremy. I'm the CTO at BlocVault, BlocVest. I have been in crypto for about 2 years now. I've been working with Brew Labs and other developers for about the last year or so, and that's basically what I do for BlocVault. I'll pass it on down to, I believe Cowboy was here.
Hi. Yeah, thank you. Hi, I'm Cowboy. I am the HR manager for BlocVault. I've been involved in crypto for probably going on roughly 2 years now, and I'm just glad to be here and have everybody join us. D-Wolf?
Oh, hey guys, nice to have us here. So my name is Wolf of Vault Street. I'm the head of PR and community management, working full-time crypto for around 3 years now, 2.5. And that's pretty much it from my side. I think that's it. The four of us, no Celtic.
Okay, perfect, guys.
So, yeah. All right.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the introduction there, guys. Okay, so before we start breaking down the three very unique vaults that you guys have going on in BlocVest, Celtic, if you can go ahead and give us a quick rundown what BlocVault is.
Yeah, so BlocVault ecosystem was set up a year ago by the team. The aim of the ecosystem is to bring modules into this space that make it easier for people to get into crypto and obviously, make it more user-friendly while they are doing their everyday tasks. We are a development-based team, and we are planning to bring Launchpad, Swap, blockchain, amongst other, several other modules and different products to fruition over the next couple of years. We launched our governance token in February earlier this year, which is the BLVT token, which is live, and it's got its own staking platform. We also brought BlocVault charting to our website, along with some other cool features that are on that earlier this year. And that took us then, I suppose, which moved us on to the next module, which is in front of you today, called BlocVest, the Trickle Vault reward protocol.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, thanks for that recap there on the BlocVault ecosystem there. So it seems like you guys are very ambitious. Like you said, you guys are going to be building out different type of modules for the next couple of years. And BlocVest is the latest one, which just had a pre-sale over in Gempad. So they just ended their pre-sale, I think today, or was it yesterday there, Celtic?
It actually just ended at 7 p.m. UTC tonight.
Okay, yep. So they raised over 100% over soft cap, which is actually very impressive given the market conditions that we're in right now. So it looks like they are getting ready to launch, which is tomorrow. Is that correct, Celtic?
Yeah, we're planning for a launch tomorrow at 8 p.m. UTC. And obviously we have a jam-packed day again tomorrow with AMAs over at Columns and a T launch and a couple of other things going on with call groups and that. So yeah, but we're going live tomorrow at 8 p.m. unless we have a catastrophic failure. But we've tried and tested all of this for over the last month. We've had our VIP room on this thing and being able to test it in testnet, test all the vaults, in and out, getting the right numbers back, everything. So we're good to go. We'll be out tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Awesome. Okay, so now let's get into the three special vaults that you guys have within the BlocVest here. Very unique concept, right? So as I'm reading through the white paper, it kind of presented to me in a way almost like a investment strategies in a way, right? You have your short term to your long term, but it's also very well thought out in a way that is to ensure the stability or the health of the chart. Am I pretty accurate on that there, Celtic?
You're 1,000,000% correct. You're actually probably one of the first people I've been in with that has it nailed it before I talk.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just had a chance to read your white paper here. Spent the last hour reading on it. It's actually very well thought out, very well put together white paper as well. I got to say. All right, Celtic. I'll go ahead and let you lead the way as far as presenting the three vaults that you have going on within the BlocVest.
Yeah. So what I'll do first is I think I'll take you through the three vaults, how they all work. And then we'll stop for a few questions, and at that point we can open the Dapp and just show you how you read everything inside there. Okay, so BlocVault, the Trickle Vault reward protocol, as you know, it's three vaults, and the three vaults operate in three very unique ways. They're designed to offer passive income to holders over time. The vaults are the Shareholder, the Accumulator, and the Trickle Vault. Again, as I said, they offer different rewards. So we'll start with the Shareholder Vault. In this one, you can deposit your BVSD tokens, and when you do, they're locked for a 3-month period. This vault takes 50% from the buy and sell tax and the volume on the chart of the BVSD token, and it is paid out monthly in BUSD on the first of every month, pro rata your share in that vault. So you go into this vault with dollar value, and you come back out in 3 months with dollar value. But while you're in there, you have your share of the BUSD that comes directly from all this buy and sell tax on the BVSD token. So it's quite unique because once you enter this, whatever you have in dollars today, you have in dollars in 3 months, and you still have money coming every month off the back of that. It's a no-risk situation. The Accumulator Vault operates in a different manner to that. It's 5-to-1 or 20% a month. Now, in this vault, I suppose the easiest way to think about it is, for say we get a paycheck on a Friday in work, and we normally, put away $100 a week from our paycheck. In this vault, if you choose to put $100 in token in on Friday, next Friday when you put in another $100, you earn 5% on top. And the following Friday, another 5%, and the following Friday, another 5%, if you choose weekly. You can also choose bi-weekly and get 10%, or monthly and get 20%. The vault is designed to give out a maximum of 20% per month, and you can lodge to it weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. There is no tax going in, there is no tax coming out. It's the same on the Shareholder Vault, no tax in or out. But here, once you make a deposit here on this vault and make your second deposit, you can remove your first deposit. So you don't have to leave your money in long-term stints. Each time you make a second deposit, you can remove the one before, whether that be monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly also. So it's quite unique. It's almost like having a savings account, that pays you a higher interest, right? And the lock times are a lot shorter there than looking at the shareholder scenario. Again, in that vault, it's dollar value in, dollar value out, so it isn't. It's not tracking the price of the token. So the third one in the system then is called the Trickle Vault. And this one is pretty much like compound over time for higher reward. There is, other products out there probably like Piston, Drip, Furio, those type vaults. So this is a very similar vault in some ways to them. But in this vault, you go in and your standard base rate is 0.5%. Now you can boost that up to 2% daily with an option of an NFT boost. The NFT boost is comprised of a bronze, a silver, a gold, and a platinum NFT. The bronze takes your 0.5 to 0.75, the silver takes you to 1, the gold to 1.5, and the platinum to 2. These are purchasable from the Dapp on launch, and you can choose to either use one, or else you just win at the base 0.5%. You compound every day. In this vault, you get back 365 claims for your tokens. When you render your tokens to this vault, they are gone. And the NFTs are utility based in this vault as well. So when you use an NFT on this vault, the vault takes it and gives you back a higher reward in return for it. And that's pretty much how the 3 vaults work. And I know that's a mouthful in itself right there. You can see here, guys, this is the NFT boost, which I'm showing you now on screen. Again, the 4 NFTs will, whichever one you have will show up to you. On launch, the bronze is $500, the silver is $1,000, the gold is $2.5, and the platinum is $5,000. Now, some people would say, oh God, they seem expensive, but the power of 2% a day compounded over 6 months is absolutely, astonishing. So at $5,000, that's not an expensive NFT if you realize what it can get you back in time. The protocol then has anti-dumping mechanisms built into it, because one of the things that the BlocVault team has done, and looking at products and looking at holders and other things and other projects that are going around the spaces, first of all, sustainability, and secondly is acting fair. As a team, we wanted to make it fair for the little guy, the medium-sized guy, and the big guy can come in too, but he won't be allowed to dump all over the smaller people. So for that reason, we put in anti-dump mechanisms into it. And it's basically, if you're a good Samaritan, you will be taxed at 10% if you compound 6 days and claim 1. If you decide that you want to be a little bit greedier and you want to take 2 claims in a 7-day period, you'll be taxed on the second one at 50%. If you reach 0.85% of that liquidity pool, you'll be taxed at 50% on all withdrawals. The tokenomics are here on the left, and they are 5%, which goes directly to that shareholders vault. So 2% back to BlocVault token as a rebate, the governance token, 2% to our liquidity pool, and 1% to development. The entire system also is backed by a treasury contract, which we've had Brew Labs build. They use the same one. The system is CertTech audited, so it is very, very safe and secure. But what that treasury contract does, which is very different to other protocols out there, is our system collects a micro fee from everything that you guys do within this module. And that micro fee goes back to that treasury contract. And on top of that, all the NFT sales go back to that treasury contract. Our compound and our auto compound and everything that goes on around this system all flow back to allow us to prop up the liquidity in either one of these 2 pools, the Accumulator or the Trickle Vault, because they're the only 2 vaults that need sustaining. The Shareholders Vault is self-sustaining from the tax, and these 2 guys need tokens to keep them. So that treasury is a fail-safe for us. It allows us to sustain this module. It allows us to buy tokens back up. It allows us to pair more liquidity. So this system has been thought out over months. It's been tried and tested. We've done all of the math on it, the logic on it. Everything has been done. The whole thing is ready. And tomorrow at 8 p.m., it will go live and be 100% usable for anybody that wants to come over and get on board and try it.
Awesome. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of information there, CertTech. Now, let's run it back to the shareholder vault. If you can go ahead and move the screen back up there. You mentioned that it's locked for 3 months.
This says
is it 6 months or 3 months?
This actually, there's a typo on this saying 6 months. I just need to change that image. We actually changed it and made it 3 months to shorten it down for people going into it because, again, look, some of our community said to us, 6 is a bit long. Some of the AMAs we were in said, you know what, I'd prefer if I wasn't locked as long. So the team has listened to what we're being told and said, okay, right, let's change the contract, make that 3 months. So it's actually 3 months, not 6 months.
Okay, so it's 3 months now. Okay, perfect. I just want to clarify that. Okay, yeah, so 3 months is still, 3 months seems pretty long. So that's why you have the Accumulator Vault there, where you can pick different, investment strategy you want to do, which is weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. But I want to touch on the Shareholder Vault a little bit more here. So you are getting rewards in BUSD, right? And the BUSD rewards comes from the 5% of the 10% tax. Correct there, Celtic?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, perfect. All right, and you guys will be paying that out every the first of every month, and the payout will be pretty much proportionate to whatever you hold in that vault, right?
Right. So it's pro rata to your share, exactly.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the shareholder vaults, you input the BlocVest tokens in, and you get the BUSD rewards. Pretty straightforward, and 3 months vesting period. So you have to lock in for at least 3 months. All right, so let's go back to the Accumulator Vault. This one right here is actually really interesting because you get to pick, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, depending on your, investment strategy, right? So you have more flexibility as far as, when you want to lock your tokens in there. Now with this one, you do not get your BUSD, but instead you get your BlocVest tokens as the rewards, right?
That's correct. This one is in BVST token only.
Okay. So that's going to be different than your shareholder. Shareholder, you get your BUSD. This one, you get your BlocVest BVST tokens rewards. And how do you now? Do you have like a dedicated allocations for this for these vaults here, Celtic? And what is that percent?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just launch the Dapp here now. And we're just going to open the Accumulator Vault for you, right? So, because this will probably make it a little bit easier for people to understand. This vault here works out at a percentage of 5% on top per week. So, it's either 5% per week, 10% in the bi-weekly, or 20% a month. So, when you enter the vault, you can see the vault here. You connect your wallet and you select the frequency. So here you will select either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. If you select weekly, that will mean on the same day next week, you will need to add that same amount. You will have a 24-hour window on the same day to do it to gain the 5% reward on top. So your deposit amount would go in here, your wallet address will show up when you're connected, and you will approve and go into the vault. Within that vault, then, it will show you your deposits, your next installment in the amount of hours and minutes, so you'll know when you need to come back here and do the next one, and your vault balance. Your rewards will show up here, and you can simply claim them by hitting the claim button here on the left. Your total rewards obviously show up down here on the bottom. So the information, your statistics and everything in this vault read through this specific panel here within the 3 vaults, and obviously to access it, you just access it here, and you decide your weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly option, and then that's, so as I said to you, then you either get 5% weekly, 10% in bi-weekly, or 20% monthly.
Okay, so that's pretty. So it's fixed pretty much, right? So if I want to put in for weekly, I would get 5%. By 2 weeks, I would get 10%, and if I want to lock it in for longer, then I get 20%.
Correct.
Pretty straightforward. Okay, awesome. All right, then we got the Trickle Vault. Now, let's touch on when you say pay out 365 days. Can you 365 times? Can you clarify on that for the ones that may not understand what that means?
Yeah, so I'll open that vault here now as well. So this is the Trickle Vault, right? So this is, I'm not sure if people are familiar with the drip token because it's pretty much very similar. When you enter this vault, your tokens are taken by the vault. So you don't get them back, but you get 5% of your token balance in reward per day. And that is claimable up to 365 times. So you've got 365 total claims from this vault to deplete your wallet. Once your wallet's depleted, you would need to start a new wallet. Now, you can compound those every day or auto-compound them. And that 0.5% builds up over time on top of your number of tokens that you put in there day one. And then you can pick and choose the time when you want to claim and start claiming your 365 claims as you want to from this vault. So how it pretty much works, I think, is, I'm involved in a few of these things. I'm in one with the last 3-4 months and I've never claimed, but I went in with a very small amount, and that amount right now, if I was to make one claim, would be probably 9 times what I went in with day one. So this is accumulating over time, compounded down on top of itself, and obviously the number can grow quite big. It starts out in this vault at 0.5 daily, but you have the option then to go here and mint your bronze, your silver or gold or platinum NFT. Once you choose, if I decided to choose a bronze, then that number here will be 0.75 daily. If this was a silver, it would be 1% daily. So by purchasing the NFT and offering it to the vault, you up the percentage from 0.5. Now you can compound that every day over time. You can choose to compound for the first 6 months. You can withdraw your first claim after 24 hours. This is tracked by the token price. So if the token price changes, the value of your tokens in the vault, obviously that's what you're claiming back out. So again, in here, it will show you your tokens in the vault, the number of deposits that you've made, your vault, the vault total, the total reward, and your claims are here, and the amount of claims you have are on the right. So once you deplete the 365 claims, you no longer have a value in that vault.
Awesome! Wow, yeah. So that's actually pretty cool, and I think I like the Dapp a lot. It's actually very transparent, so investors can go in there and kind of see exactly what's going on every day. So the Trickle Vault is pretty much it's for compounding, right? Kind of like APY, right? So you compound whatever you earned, you compound on top of your earning, right? Instead of like a APR in a way, right? You compound that and you earn a lot more over time. And what's unique about this is that you can actually buy NFT and you can increase your earnings through those NFT, depending on the tier that you buy there, which is actually really cool.
Yeah, and I think one of the things worth noting as well that when this launches tomorrow evening, the bronze and the silver have unlimited mint available already. The gold and the platinum, because of the power of them, and they would, if we let enough of them out into the system, they would hurt sustainability of the system immediately. They need to be in the hands of good actors. So one of the things that the team has decided in regards to the gold and the platinum, over time, say within the first month, at the end of the first month, if we decide to release, just for a number, say 10 gold and 5 platinum, we would look at the history of the month, and anybody that's been acting properly with the vault, their name would be put on the list to be eligible to purchase one of those 2 higher tiers. If we got people in the vault that keep doing things the wrong way and not being fair to everybody else that's here in the system, well, then their name will never go on that list. So this is about, being fair to the holders. It's about allowing our holders to have a share in our module. It's about allowing the small guy to make some money over time. And we really kind of set this up that, okay, you can get big in it over time, but the guy beside you is going to get big too. It's that's the type of way we've done this. We wanted it to be fair, sustainable, and last.
Yeah, and exactly, and that's the reason. When I went through the white paper, that's what that came across my mind, is that you guys really put a lot of thoughts into the vault, right? A lot of detail to ensure that there's stability, and also at the same time to generate income for the investors, right? But it's also the reason why you guys have that anti-well mechanism, right? Can you touch on that? Because a lot of people is going to look at this and say, you know what if a rich guy comes in, he buy the highest tier NFT, he owns shitload of tokens, and he dumps it on the chart. But you guys do have the anti-well mechanism in place to prevent that happening, correct?
Yeah, correct. And I mean, first of all, the big guy can't come in here and just buy one of these NFTs, because that's not the way they'll be for sale. The only ones that are mintable are the bronze and the silver. The gold and the platinum will only come out as the team allow them out at intervals throughout the year. And they'll only be given to people that have been in the vault and acting properly in the vault. Those are the people that will get the opportunity to purchase them, not the guy that comes in and just thinks that, because he has 50 beans to throw at the system, he's going to get one, because it's just not going to work that way. That's not the way this is being designed, and it's not the way we've set it out from the start. The other mechanisms that we have in place are, if you hit 0.85% of the liquidity pool, which, is quite a sizable number, you would lose 50% every time you take a claim. Now, some would say, oh, you know what, that's probably a little bit unfair. But at the same time, if you manage to get to 0.85 of that liquidity pool, you've got some serious claims, right? So you won't be worried about 50% of them. But the good thing about all of these whale taxes is that they also go back directly into this treasury. And the treasury then obviously, is the fail-safe to buy back, as I said, tokens, pair off against more liquidity if needed. So, these taxes are used to give back to the smaller people in the system. So when the bigger guy gets to a certain stage, if he does get to that stage, the tax takes it off him, and it's proportionally split back into the vaults for everybody else that's coming on behind it. And we thought that was the fair and the smart way to tackle the whole tax within this system. The other one then would be Compound 6, Claim 1. And again, that's being fair to everybody. So if a guy wants to go in and he wants to deplete his 365 claims a lot faster than, the next person, and he's claiming 3 times a week, well, the first claim will be at 10%, and the second two, we lose 50% of each of them. And again, that's the slap on the back of the hand to try and keep them fair with everybody else. Now, look, some people won't care, but when you lose 50% of it, it goes straight to the treasury and back to everybody else.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think that's a great, that's a great little feature to ensure that, a guy is going to sit there and claim as soon as he can before the next guy to dump it, right? So regarding the treasury, so that goes into the treasury. Now, my question is, now for those who are listening right now, okay, so you got your NFT sales goes to the treasury, and also you get your performance fees, right? So performance fees are the fees that pretty much the maintenance fee for the vaults, right? You guys charge right now at 0.0005 of BNB, which is the current rate around $1.70 per transactions on that, and that goes straight into the treasury, correct?
Yeah, we have I think the micro fee on transactions is $1, and that's what is set to start, right? So there's a micro fee of $1 for doing what you want to do within the system.
Okay, so all the fees goes into the treasury, and you also get the NFT sales and go into the treasury. What percent of the NFT sales go to the treasury?
I think we have it set up that was something like 70-30. So we would be saying that 30% would go back to kind of obviously, other modules and development of the ecosystem. 70% will go straight back in to that treasury. So you'd have 70% from all NFTs, all your micro fees, and all of the whale taxes, and the 50% from people that are not acting properly. All of that goes directly back into the treasury to sustain those two vaults.
Awesome. Now, I'm reading at your white paper right now. Celtic, it says every 30 days, 5% of the total token supply can be made available from the lock wallet, right? So all the fees that goes into the treasury, you guys will lock it up. But every 30 days, 5% gets unlocked, and you guys will utilize these tokens accordingly, strategically. Now, for the investor listening right now, the question is, how can you ensure transparency for them?
Well, look, here's the way we look at it when it comes down to transparency, because we could build, the best products in the space, and there's teams left, right, and center coming out every day, and they're Seifu and they're this and they're that, right? We've been around here since last year. We had a rogue dev back last January when we launched the BlocVault token first, that took over 50 BNB and went to go and sabotage the entire ecosystem when we were just starting out. We managed to catch him in the first 2-3 hours. We managed to shut the trade. We luckily we met Brew Labs at that time, and we got together with them. Jeremy came on board as our CTO and has been with us since. And we got new contracts. We rebuilt. We launched a V2 on February 22nd, 22 of the BlocVault token. We've stayed true to our word. We've minded our holders. We've built out our modules, and here we are with the next one. We're fully vetted over with the DeFi Skeptic on video and voice. They have recorded our addresses. We're a limited company in the UK. We're vetted with GemPad. We're doxed on our website. We're a legitimate development team trying to do good things in this space. So we're not interested in 5% of anything. We're interested in building it, putting it out there, and at some point the company has and will be in a scenario where it can pay the team properly. Until that comes, we keep developing and doing what's right by the people around us and in this space also, because at the end of the day, that's what we're about, and that's where we're going. And we've got a very big community that trusts us 1,000,000%, and there's not much more I can say than there has to be a level of trust in this game also. So I mean, we need to unlock those tokens in order to push them into certain parts of the vaults. That's just the nature of what this is. But it's, again, there has to be trust, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think you nailed it on the head there. I think trust is a big factor in the space, right? Unfortunately, within the BSC space, that has a lot of people kind of lose that. As day goes on here, as we can see recently, right? But I think Celtic, I think you hit it on the head. I think if you guys utilize that 5% in a strategic way or proper way, like you said, I think that's going to be really beneficial for the ecosystem, because you can utilize that strategically, right? Whether that's to buy back the chart at the time where you feel it's needed, whether to boost the other vaults when it's needed. But yeah, so I think if it's being utilized in the right way, and the transparency is there within the community, I think it'd be huge. Because I was going to suggest, why can you guys, burn some of the tokens? But I think you definitely need to have some tokens in order to ensure the whole ecosystem is sustained, right? Or continue to grow and develop. Yeah,
because look, a lot of these type products are elastic tokens, right? So they reproduce tokens in the vaults. We have a set supply here, so it's a fixed supply. So we need to allocate, a portion of that supply into the Accumulator Vault, into the Trickle Vault, and that needs to go into them before we launch tomorrow evening. for people to be able to, you know, obviously use those tokens and take them back out as for their rewards. And then as we obviously get, you know, funds back through into the treasury and pair it off against tokens and liquidity again, then obviously those tokens that we're generating there, we need to be able to prop those vaults back up at some stage, you know, where necessary or where needed. So it's a whole circular system, and because it's a fixed supply, we don't have that elastic scenario. And the fixed supply also is a much better method for a higher price as we go forward, because in an elastic supply scenario, there's just an endless amount of tokens, which is no good for the floor price, right?
100% correct on that. Yeah, definitely. I think as long as you guys being transparent and like you said, it seems like you guys been around for a long time. You know, the funny thing, before you came here, we might have done an AMA, or I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we heard of you guys months back, and most of the projects that did an AMA with us, or you know, we've heard of them, no longer exist, right? So me and Mike were just chatting, and we're like, wow, you know, these guys still around. So, you know, that shows me that you guys are here to stay, right? Your commitment to the project.
Yeah, we've got the grit to see it out, all right. That's for sure. Jeremy, I think, wants to speak there.
I was actually in here earlier when you were talking about that. It was Matt that brought us to you guys, Matt Grimm. So that's when you heard about us a couple months ago. But just to touch base on the Treasury contract, that 5% that can come out once a month, that is purely to top off the two vaults. The Treasury contract itself will get BNB sent to it, and then it will also be able to purchase the token out of PancakeSwap or pair it and make liquidity. So that would just be contract functions that can do that. As far as unlocking that 5%, that would be for topping out the vaults only.
Awesome.
Thank you,
awesome. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, again, I think it's, you know, I think you guys will look at the market sentiment and, you know, everything around within the ecosystem, and you guys will make those decisions strategically, right? So I think it's good.
We've even, like, I mean, look, when we were developing this back in March, you know, there was a lot of things that we kind of have done from that point to now, and just even through, you know, listening to our community and everything else. And one of the things was even that, like the Dapp that you see here now, which we're launching with. I'll just give you a quick look at something. We already have a redesigned version of this entire Dapp. We were unable to get it put into the front end before launch, but it's ready to go. But I'll just give you a quick look at how that looks. And you're probably one of the first ones to be looking at this. So this will be an updated version of the Dapp, and you can see how now on this particular version of it, everything is far more detailed. So, you know, where you deposit, enter the vault, the time, your period, the amount locked, your 30-day locks, claim your rewards when that counts down, your participant status over here, your BUSD this period, your BUSD all time. So this is a far more detailed front end than the one that we actually are going live with. But we're planning to have this live, obviously, within the next fortnight of you know, launch, because unfortunately we just could not get this done in time, and we had everything booked. So we had to just go as we are with the first instance of the Dapp that we built, right? But this will be coming mainstream, and it is far more informal for anybody that will be using, you know, those vaults, as you can see. So that's just a sneak peek at, you know, the work that's going on in the background, even as we approach the launch, right? We're still working on, you know, making it better and even more user friendly and easier for people to read, and you know, and that's what we're about. We're about, you know, our community and our products, and we take pride in what we're building.
Yeah, that looks really awesome. I love the details. I think it's actually necessary in the space, right? When everything is laid out clear, nice and clear, easy to understand for everyone. Yeah, that looks really nice, and I'm glad we were on the to see it.
Yeah, it is. It's a really cool version of it because you know, it absolutely shows. I mean, even here, like if you look at the Accumulator Vault, it shows the amount of participants, the amount of people that were doing weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. It's then, you know, over here you select the frequency, the deposit amount. Now it shows your value, and then beside this is your schedule. So this would be, you know, the lock date, the period that you lock, your next deposit date, the next deposit amount, percentage rate that you're on, and the vault total. And then you can your accumulator balance and your accumulated rewards, and you can claim either or from the right hand panel. Again, the Trickle Vault on the new Dapp, you know, it shows which NFT you have active, or you can activate either one below. The prices of them will show in the boxes, and the percentage will show underneath, and the image of reality was here. Again, in this one, you've got your participant status within the vault, like the total vault stats are here. And then down below is your compound. So you can add your compounds here, and you can select add your, and that will add your auto compounds. Your remaining compounds show up, the hours to your next compound. You can manual compound by hitting the button below it. In the right pane is where you enter the vault, and then the statistics below that again show up for you. Your claim days are over here, and your claim rewards are below to click on the button to claim them. So it is a much more user-friendly interface with a lot more information for the user. This will go live probably 7 to 14 days maximum after we launch. We were pushing to have it, and the development team just said, guys, it's just, you know what? I suppose my fault. I handed all this front end to him 2 weeks ago and said, is there any chance of having it? And I got the answer, was tell, are you kidding me? So, but look, so just, you know, that's just giving you a little insight into, you know, this is only being finished and ready to go tomorrow, and already in the background we have a whole new interface of that app ready, right?
Yeah, I like it. You know, looking at it, right? It's very made simple, but it's actually, you know, has some strategies behind it as far as, you know, what investment strategy you want to go into, right? And to earn some income. Now, with that said, though, I know you guys have some experience. I know some of you guys are going to go in there and you know, be in one of the vaults. Celtic, what is your number one vault to go into? If I can ask that.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the strategies are the way. I'm all about the shareholders vault. I love the idea of being able to put X amount into something and be paid once a month for it, right? And like, I can't help but look at other protocols that are out there that have these type of the Trickle Vault system, right? And if you look at their day-on-day and month-on-month volume, it can be quite large, and that means that 10% in that shareholder vault could be very, very rewarding every month, depending on how you know how much you're able to go at with it, right? Because it is obviously percentage based. But I do also like the idea of, you know, on the smaller side of things, right? I mean, I'm used to as a normal person being able to go to the bank. And actually, you know, from my paycheck for years in several jobs, you know, X amount went to savings, right, every week. And I like the idea of being able to put something like, you know, say $100 or $50 even into that accumulator vault and do it every week on week, every Friday or every Saturday when I get paid, right? And I like to know that, you know what, if I went down to my local bank and I'd done that every Friday, and after 1 year, I wouldn't have earned shit with it. But if I do it here, every month I'm making 20% on top. And it doesn't matter whether the token price has gone below or above. I'm at dollar value here. So I'm accumulating that. And my play would be, you know, after 2 or 3 months of accumulating there, I can take all this interest and I can stick it straight into that Trickle Vault, and then I can start to compound down hard. So there's, I don't know, there's people are going to come at this from different ways. It's going to be so interesting to see what vaults become the popular ones. But I mean, I really think it depends on what way you're set up financially too, right? That's a lot got to do with it. But if I was just trying to get going and I was trying to get a head start, I think I'd be trying to accumulate in the short term. I take my rewards from that and stick them into the Trickle Vault and start compounding down to make a big bag.
Right, and even if the Accumulator Vault, right, you got the 5%, 10%, and 20% monthly, right? To put that in perspective, over in U.S. we use the SP 500, which is the 500 biggest company in the United States, to an indicator for the economies and the directions of the economy where it's going, right? That earns a 10% every year. Now, just put that in perspective, right? That's the crazy thing about crypto is that you're able to earn a return on your investment, your ROI at a 10% biweekly, which is 2 weeks, versus a year in the real, traditional finance world, which is crazy, right? But what I really like about what you guys, you guys thought out is, almost all these high APY or high interest, right? High yield projects. The biggest hardship or biggest problem that we see is that it's when people earn it too much, it will affect the chart, right? But in this case, it literally funnel back into your treasury, and you guys will get that money from the NFT, and you guys can actually buy back the chart. So I think that's actually a great strategy, actually. So it's kind of like it circles around, right?
Yeah,
I mean, look, keep the eye on the chart.
Yeah, correct. I mean, and one of the things that we talked about as well was, in the real world, right, when you want to earn money, like if you have a checking account, you pay to use it, right? You pay to put money in there. You pay to write a check. You pay for everything. So we thought, right, okay, in this scenario, right, when you get to a certain stage and you're big enough and you're able to, take out big amounts of money, well, you're going to pay to take it out, and the small guy's going to get it. That's kind of the way we thought about it.
Exactly. Awesome, Celtic. Yeah, man, I think it's very well thought out. Love the vault. Many different strategies, different ways to earn some income, passive income, and depend on your strategy. Yeah, I think the Trickle Vault, that's cool that you can actually buy NFT to boost that. Not time limit, but claim limit 365 days. So yeah, that's actually kind of unique. I think there was another project I've seen it before, but I haven't really seen that before.
Well, Drip was another project that did.
I think that was it. Yeah.
And that token went from a couple of bucks up to nearly $200 a token. And but one of the things with that token also as well is that there was some really, really big people did really, really well with it, because if you understand how the compound over time, and you need to, those who compound win. That's the way it goes, right? And if you get your head around that and you just use that as it's not for today, it isn't for tomorrow, but I'll talk to it in 6 months' time, and you just keep compounding and compounding and compounding, you'll be astonished at what you'll have.
That's it. Compound interest, right? Also known as APY, right? I think that's one of the things that the biggest thing in investing is the APY. It's not what you earn, but it's what you earn and compound on top of what you earn. And so that's actually the biggest thing in any type of investing is compound.
Yeah, I'll give you one scenario. And I was telling my guys this earlier on, and this is only something small I did. It's literally just over 2 months ago with $250 into a compound platform, and I've compounded it the whole way up until this week. I was allowed to take a claim, once a week or once every fortnight from it, but I just didn't bother because I just left it compound and compound and compound and compound. And in the last 6 days, I was able to remove $285 a day for 6 days straight without hurting my percentage of reward. And I now just have to sit and maybe compound again. If I do it tomorrow, I'd hurt my reward, right? But I was able to do it 6 times in a row without hurting my reward, and it was $285 for 6 days straight off of $250. All I did was compound for 2 months.
Yep, that is the key. If you talk to the biggest guy in the stock market, traditional, what's his name? Fuck, I can't remember his name right now. But he will tell you that compounding is everything. Fuck, I cannot remember his name right now. I'm kind of blank right now. What is the biggest? What's the richest guy in the world right now through the stock market? Actually, in general.
One of them guys, is it? Or come on, Jeremy, you should know this one.
Anyway, all right, Celtic, perfect, man. Love the presentation. Very well thought out vaults. So it looks like, so the BlocVest is, part of the ecosystem of BlocVault. But it seems like you guys are not stopping here, right? For those who are listening right now, what is the next move? What is the future plans?
Okay, well, listen, we've already been in talks on the Launchpad. That's our next move. Launchpads are there's a few around, don't get me wrong. Some of them are bad actors in the space. Some of them are good actors in the space. We've got a lot of plans for Launchpad and a lot of safe plans for investors. Just to touch on one little thing that we had in our mind, and maybe we can implement it in some way, but it would be a way that we could have access to liquidity in the case of something being wrong. Kind of multi-sig liquidity type thing. But anyway, look, I won't go too deep into it because I don't want to give too much away in public. Launchpad is the next move. That'll be first quarter of next year, hopefully. Early next year sometime. And we're already in discussions in the development. And we've also purchased our own blockchain. We have it. It's sitting in the back waiting to go. We own the domain for it already, which is blockscan.io. So that will be at some point we'll bring it to fruition and develop it out. Our end game here is to have our own blockchain, tokens being deployed onto our blockchain. But not only that, then the use of our products will be free to tokens, or maybe not free, the micro fee again, right? He'll be involved there somewhere for people that launch into our blockchain, have the use of our products like our swap, our launchpad, our different staking platforms and modules that we'll bring around. Obviously, there'll be, farming and staking involved with the blockchain when we get to that stage. So look, we have an absolute shit ton of stuff in the works for down the pipe. But our next move, 100% our next move will be our launchpad.
Awesome. Yeah, it looks like you guys do have a lot of things going on. Yeah, man. I mean, it's great to see that. After all these months, are you guys still at it? Not a lot of people can say that in the space recently. So, great to see.
Yeah. Look, I think it comes from too. I mean, we had a good run with BlocVault when it opened first, and we did okay with that. And then we've used the funds that we got from it to develop. We could have marketed and went for a run and and up the chart and down the chart, a pump and a dump, and then we'd be broke and we wouldn't be here today. So we're as I said, we're more development now than we are. We want to see a lovely green chart. We kind of feel as a group, build it and they'll come over time. Our products will speak for themselves. People will open their eyes. They'll see how, what we've been at in the space, and they'll support that, and we'll go further.
100%. All right. To recap, guys, so it looks like, they did raise over 100% over the soft cap over in GemPad. The sales ended today. Looks like launching tomorrow. So yeah, keep an eye out. We will go ahead and repost the pin post tomorrow again to raise awareness to your project. Anything else you want to speak on, Celtic, before we take questions?
No, I think we've done enough of talking. Certainly at this stage, I think we'll let some of the floor have a few questions asked.
Awesome. Okay, so with that, Mike, the legend Mike is going to come on and he's going to take some questions.
Hey guys, well, Celtic is amazing having you back here, brother. Amazing
Yeah.
presentation. 100%, man. Before I get into some of the text questions for the community here, I always like to ask the community, if you'd like to ask your questions on voice, please feel free to unmute yourself. Just don't overtalk another, and I'll jump into some text questions in just a minute. All right, we can roll on back to that if anybody has something they want to ask later. First one for the community here is, can someone earn through the 3 vaults at the same time, or will they have to choose just one?
No, that's the whole beauty of it. You can put a portion of whatever you want into either of them, so you can earn through all 3. You're not governed with the token to go into any one particular one. You can split your tokens up and put a small share into all 3.
Perfect. Same person asked about NFTs. Can I upgrade an already purchased NFT, maybe from bronze to silver?
Yes,
also,
you can.
Second part of that, sorry, brother, is also is 2 or more NFTs exist in my wallet. What effect does it have on my earning rate? Increase rate, or I earn just based on one of them?
Yeah. So in any one wallet, you can have one of each NFT. So if you started in, say, wallet A and you had a bronze, you can update that wallet to a silver, gold, or platinum. Once you purchase the one below, it becomes useless, right? You cannot have more than one of any of them in the same wallet. You must start a new wallet. The NFTs are, however, fully transferable, and you can sell them or do what you like with them, as long as you don't introduce them to the Trickle Vault. Because once you introduce them to the Trickle Vault, it takes them, and in return, it gives you percentage.
Okay, perfect. Appreciate that. Next community question here is also about your NFTs. Is Boost NFTs are transferable as long as they are not used? Once you use your NFT with the Trickle Vault, it will become the property of the vault, and in return boost your reward percentage. Does this mean that once I use my NFT, it's gone forever, like a consumable?
Yes, you need to look at it as a key to unlock a door, right? And once you unlock the door, it's open. You know what I mean? That's it. It's no longer usable. So it lasts for those 365 claims. But after you deplete that wallet, you would need a new wallet and a new NFT to start again.
Perfect. Makes sense, brother. Another NFT question here for the community is, the cost of NFTs are shown in US dollars. Will we use a token to buy them, or can we also use fiat to buy them?
They are set with BNB at the moment to buy them. Now, what happens with all of that as we travel out? Oh, you can use BUSD as well, Jeremy, can we?
Yeah, use BUSD to buy them. In terms of adding the fiat down the road, that might come in down the road, but right now it's just using BUSD to buy them.
Sorry, so it's BUSD. Sorry, my bad. I knew I didn't know everything.
No worries, though. Next question here is, on your website, it is stated that to boost one's earning, you have to buy NFTs, which range from your tiers $500 less to your most expensive tier $5,000, which is pretty expensive for the small investor. Does it mean that those who cannot afford it have other ways of increasing their earnings, or do you have plans later on to maybe drop an NFT pack that will have cheaper prices as you go on?
Well, at the moment, actually, it's closing tomorrow. I should have mentioned it by now. There is a randomized NFT event available on our website. So just kind of in line with what that question is. This randomized event here, it's basically we've packed the back end of this with bronze, silver, gold, platinum. It's one B&B for one until we launch. After we launch, obviously, this is over. And, well, an hour before we launch tomorrow evening, this will be over. And you will end up having to buy the NFTs afterwards, right? These are now one B&B. I don't know what you'll get. You don't know what you'll get. When you go to mint, you could get a silver, you could get a bronze, you could get a gold, or you could get a platinum. But that's on at the moment up until an hour before launch tomorrow. It's one B&B to enter, and you just go to mint your NFT then before we launch, right? So yes, we will be doing stuff like this from time to time as well. That, you know, allows the NFTs to be got at a lower price. But bear in mind, if you get a bronze NFT at $500 even, at 0.75, it won't be long before you'll have accumulated enough to put your hands on a silver one.
That's awesome. That's actually awesome to know. I just lost my place here. Sorry. Oh, here it is. Next community question is, that's not it. I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. Is there any specific amount I need to invest in your vault in a relationship to your Trickle Vault? I'd like to know, would there become a medium where I can share investment through my friends and contribute funds to equally invest in the vault? And how would the BlocVest help in the equally splitting of the rewards? That's a little bit of a different question there.
Well, there's no minimum limit as to what you can put into the vaults, right? For starters. In regards the second part of that question, which is, sorry, Mike, was that, could he share his?
It was, yeah. It's something I really haven't heard before, but it was we'll come back down to it, the share of his rewards with friends. I guess that means other wallets in the ultimate sense.
Oh, he's entitled to do whatever he likes, I think, with these rewards. I mean, if he gives some to a friend and they, go back to the wallet or come to the vault and put them in under a new wallet, then yeah, I mean, he can share them out. Yeah, there's no issue with that. I mean, once they go to a new wallet and that wallet is presented to the Trickle Vault, then it has tokens in it and it can compound, right?
Good answer. Yeah, exactly it, brother. Next question here is, will there be any referral contests where some users can have the chance to maybe earn more through referrals?
I'm not too sure on that one, because one of the things about referral is the Ponzi side of things, right? And one guy getting a big slice and bringing people under, and then the next guy is a big slice. So it does Ponzi-ish, kind of makes the thing the kind of a Ponzi scheme. We had discussed it, the referral thing, and we went away from it for the time being. So the answer is, I don't know, is the actual long, that's the proper answer for me to give. Is like, at this point in time, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. Referrals possibly somewhere in the future, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably his answer, I suppose.
Perfect, Celtic. Next question for the community here is, most times, compounding of profits usually leads to permanent loss, or impermanent loss, I should say. I would like to know more about how you plan for your token holders to escape total loss of their funds when investing and compounding interest of your token, if any.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I feel exactly what that question is, because a lot of these miners and compound interest platforms that are out there, firstly, they're offering a percentage rate of compound up to 3% a day, 5% a day, 2.5% a day, and it's absolutely ludicrous and unrealistic. And what's happening with them is that, a flux of people come in and they start doing this, and the next thing is the whole thing is unsustainable within 2 months or 3 months, and they end up shutting down and running off on everybody's money. So, How will this be sustainable? Well, obviously, the Treasury, the NFTs, the micro fees, the taxes, the whale taxes, all of those things going back to the Treasury to bolster liquidity, token buyback, and everything else. And bear in mind here that you start at 0.5%, and you're not really going to get platinum or gold unless you are a really, really good actor within this system. So we've built this to be sustainable for people with a realistic return on investment, not one that is just completely and utterly stupid.
Perfect. Rolling right with what we're saying here about security from another investor here is, since investors will have to lock up their funds for some time, the spot contract may be vulnerable to hacks and attacks. Will you be having more than one audit to make sure everything is thoroughly checked? What is the extra security step you've put in place to give your investors more trust and confidence?
Right. Well, look, our contracts are designed and built from the ground up, so they're not snippets that are pulled and copy and pasted. They're done by Brewlabs, and they were built custom for this module. Brewlabs are fully CertTech audited. They are. Are you aware of Brewlabs, Mike?
I am. Yeah, they're actually one of the top staking contract guys out there. So very verified.
They're absolutely, as safe as it gets when it comes to. Well, me personally, I think it's one of the safest companies that's in the space right now, and we're proud to be partnered with them. So, from a safety's point of view, there is no re-entry or anything. The contracts are done absolutely 100% perfectly safe. Once they're deployed, they can't be played with. It's that simple. Treasury CertTech audited, token contract is audited. We will, I think, when we go with the launchpad, we will be heading for CertTech audit on everything then at that point ourselves, because it's expensive over there, so we'd like to kind of have a little bit more out before we go at it, right? Apart from that, from a fail-safe point of view of deployment wallets and wallets that deal with contracts, we have a scenario whereby our wallets are offline. They don't interact with Telegram on the same PC. Nothing happens on the system they're on. Only they go online, do what they need to do with the contract, and they go back off again. They've never seen Google, and they will not. You know what I mean? They've never seen an email, nothing. So it would be very, very difficult for anybody to get at them, because of the scenario which we put in place for that. And we did that because obviously we've got, development wallet for BlocVault, marketing wallet for BlocVault, deployer wallet for BlocVault, and we've got 7 contracts involved in this. We have a compounding contract, an NFT contract, the shareholder, the accumulator, the trickle, the token. So all these contracts, all these wallets have to be put offline in a secure scenario.
Exactly. Yeah, bringing that much to the table needs to be secure, and you guys are definitely absolutely bringing all that to the table. And
like our websites and whatever, like they've all got whatever would be the highest tier of security that can be purchased has been purchased. I mean, we're very, very diligent in what we do, and we feel very safe at the fact that there is no re-entry or any issues with our contracts because of who built them. And that being, contracts with me, our very first contract built by the wrong person. He re-entered the contract and went to go destroy the whole program. So, this team learned the hard way in this space.
Yeah, I remember you guys were. I mean, God, how long ago was that now? BlocVault. That was
January.
More than a year ago.
Yes, it was actually. Well, we actually did our first pre-sale around
Which
this
I was
time.
in that. I was in that.
Right, Mike. Yeah, it was about this time last year we did our first pre-sale, right? So that's a long time ago now. It's a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, shit, man, it does.
All right, brother. Well, I'll
Long
just grab
time in
just a couple more
crypto.
questions here for the community. Yeah, oh my God, right? They say what a week in crypto is like a month in real life, pretty much.
No, that's for sure.
Oh man. All right, I'll just grab just a couple more questions here for the community. I know it's getting late for you guys. This one's another NFT question: is if I buy an NFT today and decide to sell it tomorrow without using it, can I sell it back to the team instantly since the price is fixed, or will I have to trade it in the marketplace? And do you take fees when an NFT is traded? And what marketplace can it be traded on?
Okay, because they're not really a tradable item, like say for OpenSea or whatever, right? Because they're utility NFT more than they are anything. So if you bought 10 of them today, I think your best option to sell them would be in our chat tomorrow. You know what I mean? And that would be it. You just transfer it to somebody and that's the end of it, or something like that. But we are, at some point we'll have our own NFT marketplace and different NFTs and different things will be going on down the road. But for the here and the now, they're utility-based NFT. There's probably not much point in purchasing an NFT unless you're going using it at the moment.
Perfect. Last question here, Celtic, is about your taxes. I think we might have touched on this earlier, but just to recap, will there be any plans to change these taxes in the allocations in the future? I know you have a fixed amount of tokens.
Yeah. No. And if I get that question correctly, Mike, a lot of these type platforms and stuff, when they realize that they can't sustain themselves, they either lower the buy tax and then they tax the actual, the heavens out of the sell tax, right? That won't be happening. It's 10% in, it's 10% out. It is worth noting, however, the first 24 hours of trade, there is a different tax on sell when we launch. In the first hour, it's 30% on sell. And I think the final 23
Next
hours.
48 is 25%.
All right. So the first hour is 30 and the following 48 hours is 25%. And that's, again, anti-dumping measure built into the contract. Once that dissipates, it goes to 10% in, 10% out in the story.
Perfect. Well, Celtic, Jeremy, I appreciate all the answers tonight. That's it. I'm going to take for tonight for the questions. If there's anybody in the community that would like further questions to be asked, make sure you join on over to the Telegram, ask your questions, and I'm going to kick it back to Seattle. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Oh, go ahead, man. You got a question? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, there is one aspect that actually got me thinking, so I would actually like to ask. On the website, I only went to the website because I'm looking for it said that 50% of the tax, that's 5% of the tax, will be going to Shareholder Vault. And then the funds for accumulated value will require a weekly or monthly installment. And the Trickle Vault will be paying out as high as 2% daily ROI. So what I would like to know is, other than the taxes, if there is no fund, if no more people are not coming into the project and most people are holding, where would the fund to sustain the project come in from? Because the only way I'm seeing money coming in is from the taxes and the sale of NFTs. So I would like clarification on this aspect.
I got some of that, but I didn't get all of it. And I think is it to do with how it's funded if everybody's holding. Did I hear that?
Yes, the sustainability. If there are no people buying and everybody is holding, where would the funds come from?
Jeremy, do you want to weigh in slightly on that question, or did you hear it properly?
I think I heard basically with there's no transactions occurring, the sustainability from that. So basically what happens is you have the micro fees that occur from all the interactions with the vault contracts and the NFTs that goes to the treasury. The treasury can buy back tokens, load those vaults that need the tokens to pay out in tokens. So that's one way that it can stay sustainable. the other utilities that we're bringing out outside of this module, which would be like the launch pad and things like that, will also generate fees that can come back in and help out with that. There's also a couple of things that we're working on in the real world that would do the same thing.
Yeah, but I think, look, I mean, if you look at any project that's out there, I mean, obviously, you know, we as a team with this type of module, we don't see it as having stagnant volume. It's not like a normal token that, you know, everybody runs it up to a pint, dumps on it, and then it just dies and it's gone. It's different. I mean, people have to interact with it daily in order for it to work for them. And once they do start to do that, and the rewards start flowing back and forth, I think, you know, this has a very, very high probable chance of being, you know, used by the masses, and you know, that volume up, down, and in and out all day, every day is exactly where, you know, these revenues will be, or these streams of percentages for holders will come from. And I think it will do that easily without, you know, a lot of even what Jeremy has said about, you know, what we have planned for the outside world and everything else to bring, you know, funds back into the ecosystem, because the module itself, it's designed in a manner that, you know, it's you know, why would you not go in and compound every day when you know you're going to, you know, you're making what you have bigger, and if you compound, there's a micro fee involved. So it's designed to work.
So I have a question too.
Go ahead, Tels. Abraham, I think we might have lost him. If you're here,
Yeah,
you can
so
chime in a minute. But go ahead,
the
Tels.
shareholder vault, when the rewards are paid out based on the market value, for example, I staked in 10 tokens at $100 and I got back 50 tokens because those were what was worth $100 when I'm withdrawing. The extra 50 that is left in the contract, does that also go back to the treasury, or is it like bonds?
Jeremy, his question is if he goes into the Trickle Vault, or sorry, the Shareholder Vault, and it's that dollar value, and he has, say, 100 tokens, and then the price changes and he has 50 tokens coming back out, what happens to the rest of it? But
They stay in the Shareholder Vault.
It stays there, doesn't it? You see, that vault, buddy, is done on dollar value only. So it's a reward vault based on the amount you put in is the amount you get back out, but you're allowed to take your monthly BUSD reward off of that. So you don't lose like you would on a standard crypto project. You basically just go in with that amount, you come out with that amount, but you collect a reward on it because you're a shareholder in that module.
Yeah, I understand it up to that point, but what I'm talking about now is not from the investor's point of view. I'm talking about from the team's point of view. The extra 50 that I left behind in the vault, what does the team do with it?
I think it stays in that vault, Jeremy, correct?
Yeah, it stays in the vault. So you could think about any of the ones that get left behind from that nature similar to a burn, right? Because they're not going anywhere. They're stuck in the vault.
Right, so they're stuck in the contract. So basically that's the answer to that question, my man. They're stuck in the contract. They can't be took out.
On the reverse side of that, though, if the price doubled like that, someone would have to pay twice as much to get the same weight in the pool that you have in that vault. So, you know, if you come out and get half the tokens and then you decide to go back in there, you're going to be at a far less position than you were when you were in there in the first place, right?
Right. So being in there and staying in there is kind of a smart move if it's doing well for you.
It's like a secret burn.
Yeah, now the render to the contract, obviously, if you come back out and you've left some behind, right?
Exactly it. Is that all for your questions, brother?
Yeah, that is all. Thanks.
Appreciate the questions there, Tels.
Yeah,
All
thanks,
right.
guys.
Does anybody else want to ask their questions before we kick it back to Seattle here?
All right. Thanks, Celtic. Hey, Celtic, very well presented your project, brother. It's good seeing you again. Yeah, I think that wraps everything up. It's 3 o'clock in the morning for you?
No, not too bad. It's like 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, you're like me. I go to bed like 2 or 3. So.
Same as. Well, we've got some work to do ourselves in the background now, with finalizing the pre-sale and getting things organized for tomorrow, because we need to load all those contracts and get everything deployed and get everything ready. So we've got a bit of work to do for the next few hours ourselves.
Oh, I bet. It's been, you guys been very active as far as, going out there and raising awareness to the project. Plus, you just had a pre-sale close today too. So yeah, I bet you guys have been busy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been hectic the last couple of days, and look, at this point, our main objective now is to get to the launch and get this thing out to the public, right? Because we can go around and talk about it all day, and we understand it because we built it. But it's bring the awareness now. Do some small explainer videos so as people can understand it easily. Be active in the chat. Have the VC open. Make sure that people understand what this is and how it works and how the vaults work, and be there to answer those questions for them, because it isn't, I don't think it's complicated, but when you come at it for the first time and you look at it, I can see where it can be very complicated for somebody.
Yeah, but I think once you guys launch that detail, user interface where it lays out everything clearly, right? So I think that's going to be very helpful for the investors. So with that said, I really encourage everyone to join the Telegram room and participate, be part of the community and ask questions over there as well. With that said, Celtic, very well presented. Is there a last word you want to leave us with?
Yeah, look at guys, again, I'm delighted to be able to come over and have a chat with you. It's great to speak with Mike again. It's been a long time since I spoke with that man and yourself. We're thrilled to have come in and presented this to you and all of the listeners here in the AMA. As I said, also we're live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. UTC. VC is open over in our chat, I think, from around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, GMT my time. And it'll be open through tomorrow night for anybody that has questions around the launch or the vaults or anything like that. So again, guys, come and join us if you want. There's no problem. We're there the whole time. And hopefully we'll see you for the launch tomorrow. And to you guys, thanks very, very much for having us. We're delighted to be here.
Definitely so. I mean, not financial advice, but I did go into your pre-sale. I think all of us, we have like 2 wallets of the Diamond Tier and Gem Pad, so we all in it. In your project. Sounds great. I do see that Jeremy posted you guys do have a live chat tomorrow there, 8 p.m. UTC. So yeah, with that, Celtic, would you like us to raise awareness to your Telegram room by sending people over there and say like maybe great AMA at USA Crypto Group, and Mike will go over there and pick a winner? Is that something that you want us to do?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, guys, absolutely, 100%. Look, the more awareness we can bring around this launch, the better, and it's good for you, it's good for me, it's good for everybody. So, you're more than welcome to come over there and, at any time with any competition or send people over. We'd be delighted to have you there.
Perfect. Jeremy, do you want to say something, brother?
Oh, I was just clarifying that that's every Wednesday that we do those live chats on that. But we will be on the voice chat tomorrow as we're obviously launching. So we'll definitely have that open tomorrow as well.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome. You sound like an American, brother. Where you from? What state?
California, man. NorCal.
Nice. Nice. A lot of people from California and crypto, that's for sure. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
Peter
Jeremy.
did come from here.
Jeremy, Celtic, appreciate you guys being here, and thanks everyone, attending this AMA session today. With that said, I'm not gonna hold you guys any longer. We're gonna do a giveaway now, but it's up to you guys if you guys want to stay or you guys want to leave. I'm sure Celtic, you guys have sleep to do and work to do. So
I got lots of you guys, so I'm going to say over and out for now. But thanks very much for having us.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
good chatting with you, brother.
Same, good one.
Chat to you too.
Thank you for having us.
Take care, guys. Talk to you later.
Take care,
thanks, guys.
Yeah, bye.
All right, guys. You know what time it is. Giveaway time. Unfortunately, tonight I'm not on my laptop for some repair issues. I will be operating off the phone tonight, so I'll be sharing screen for our one random attendee. As always, I'll be picking as well best question and one random joiner over to the BlocVest Telegram. Send great AMA at USA Crypto Group. Let me share my screen here. Let's see. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see that, Seattle?
Yeah, I can see it. I think I can see the future the future as well. I think you're gonna pick Seattle crypto there.
I think you're right. We'll see. All right. Well, we have 170 participants on tonight. I will try to be as random as I possibly can by just scrolling really fast. And I will stop on one. There it is. Beyonce. Congratulations, win yourself $25 tonight. That's it for the random picking tonight on, I was going to say the wheel. I'm so used to saying that. Not the wheel, but through the share screen here. And I will be sure to have everything posted, pinned shortly as well. This was actually a really enjoyable AMA tonight. It was good chatting with the crew there. It was good to have them back. And yeah, they really have been around for quite some time here.
100%. Yeah, that was a really good chat. Very seems like a very honest people, and I like that. Especially in the space. I do see Johnny posting, join BlocVault and say great AMA. Make sure you guys join and say hi. Be part of the community. Just not don't just go there just to win that $25. And Mike will be over there shortly and pick a winner. Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for the questions, and thanks everyone for participating in the AMA. I gotta run. Gotta hit the gym. Trying to lose some lose some fat.
I just lost my my microphone there for a second. I apologize for that. I had to come out and back in. But yeah, enjoy your night, man. Get that gym sweat going on, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you all.
All right, see you guys.